Hey everyone, it's Malini from My Little Pink Craft Kitchen, and today I have a card for the watercolor blog hop hosted by Pretty Pink Posh. I've normally stayed away from watercolor because I really fail at it and I don't really do a good job, but I wanted to try to make my own background, which is something quite easy. So I'm starting out with some distress inks from Tim Holtz. I'm using four colors. I'm using picked raspberry, spiced marmalade, mustard seed, and peacock feathers. And I love these colors. These four colors are, I think, my favorite colors. I love them individually, but I love them together too. And I use them together a lot of times. And so that's why I chose these four colors because they also have a rainbow effect. So what I'm doing here is I'm just smushing the color onto my craft mat and then I'm spritzing it with some water so that it kind of adds some looseness to it. And then I'm going to place my watercolor paper on top. And instead of moving my watercolor paper up and down, I'm just going to move it left to right, kind of rocking it in a side to side motion because I want the colors to blend within each other, but at the same time, I also want them to be separate. So you can see here, they did blend on each edge of the color, but they're still intact and you can see each color. Now for more dimension, I decided to spritz some water onto it and put a stencil on top. Now, whatever the image on the stencil is, that'll be the image that will pop up because the water pools to the grooves of the stencil. And it's a really cool technique. It's so simple, but it gives really complex results that you think it took forever to do, but it's really so easy. And so I like sometimes using this technique because it really is foolproof. So I let this dry for about maybe half an hour and then I remove the blocks. The panel is still wet, but I'm going to let it air dry without the blocks. And when you remove the stencil, it's basically like magic. I mean, any stencil creation is magic because once you remove the stencil, it really looks nice. And with this, it really looks amazing. It's a very cool tie-dye effect. So for the sentiment, I have these dies from Little Yellow Bicycle. I got them on sale from Hobby Lobby for about $4 for all three of them. I die cut three of each and I stuck them together. I wanted it to be quite thick, but at the same time not super thick. So it's just sturdy enough, but it's not chipboard thickness. You know, it's not that thick. It's still flexible and pliable, but it's not really flimsy and thin. So I wanted to put this in the center of my watercolor panel, but I found that it was hard, like it wasn't matching up really well and I was wasting a lot of space. So I decided to just move it off center so that the grooves of the letters would kind of move in and fix and fit within each other. And I think it looks pretty good like this. And I used my white glue to adhere this to the panel. Now, to embellish this, I really enjoy using sequins. And I really love the sparkling clear from Pretty Pink Posh. I mean, if you ask me which color will I use for the rest of my life, and that is the only color that I can use, it'll definitely hands down be the sparkling clear from Pretty Pink Posh because it's really my favorite color. It's classy, it's shiny, it's simple, it's elegant, but at the same time it gives such a wow factor to your cards. And if you use a lot of color in your cards, you don't need to put more sequins that have color. Sparkling clear will just do the trick for you. And that's why I love it so much because it's really a cool color. And when you tilt your card, it changes color. It kind of matches the card. It's perfect. I just love it. And so I got a handful of it, and I just placed it all over the card where I thought you needed to be embellishing it. And to adhere the sequence, I used my glossy accents. You can use a wide range of glues. You could use glue dots. You could also use the Tombow Mono Multi Glue, the one that has the green cover. Some people have used that and found success with that. Another famous glue for sequins is the Ranger Multi Matte Medium. The only problem I have with that is the container because when you squeeze out some onto a card, sometimes a big glop comes up and that becomes, a mess. And so I prefer to use my glossy accents because I get a small amount each time. Now for the watercolor panel to stand out, instead of using a white card base, I decided to use some black cardstock as my card base so that the color really stands out. And I used foam tape to adhere that. And I think it looks perfect. I mean, I just love the simplicity of the background. It was easy to make, but it didn't look easy to make. but it is very easy. And so I hope you enjoy this. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.